Assalamu alaikum, this is Maria Zulfikar welcoming you all to the English news from Btv-Chattogram. Let's begin with the headlines. Schedule of 13 national parliamentary election and referendum announced. Voting on February 12. Advisory Council gives final approval to draft of Commercial Code Ordinance 2025. Submission of investigation report of disappearance case against Sheikh Hasina by January 18 ordered. Hearing in Appellate Division against High Court verdict on 15th Amendment postponed till March 5 next year. BNP chairperson Begum Khaleda Zia receives treatment as medical board working to ensure best treatment for her, says Dr. A.Z.M. Zahid Hussain. Millions of Palestinians face sufferings as Cyclone Byron batters war-torn Gaza. And West Indies trail by 41 runs against New Zealand at end of second day of second test in Wellington. Viewers, those were the headlines. Now moving on to the details. The 13th national election and the referendum on the July National Charter will be held on February 12, 2026. Chief Election Commissioner A.M.M. Nasiruddin announced the election schedule in an address to the nation this evening. Chief Election Commissioner urged all citizens to freely take part in the voting festival regardless of their caste, religion or political affiliation.
আগামী 2026 সালের ফেব্রুয়ারি মাসের 12 তারিখ রোজ বৃহস্পতিবার 300 আসনে ত্রয়োদশ জাতীয় সংসদ সাধারণ নির্বাচন এবং একই সাথে জুলাই জাতীয় সনদ সংবিধান সংস্কার বাস্তবায়ন আদেশ 2025 এর উপর গণভোট অনুষ্ঠিত হবে। ত্রয়োদশ জাতীয় সংসদ নির্বাচনের জন্য মনোনয়নপত্র দাখিলের শেষ তারিখ আগামী 29 ডিসেম্বর 2025 রোজ সোমবার। মনোনয়নপত্র বাছাই হবে আগামী 30 ডিসেম্বর 2025 রোজ মঙ্গলবার হতে 4 জানুয়ারি 2026 রোজ রবিবার পর্যন্ত। রিটার্নিং অফিসারের আদেশের বিরুদ্ধে কমিশনে আপিল দায়েরের শেষ তারিখ 11 জানুয়ারি 2026 রোজ রবিবার। কমিশনে দায়েরকৃত আপিল নিষ্পত্তির তারিখ 12 জানুয়ারি 2026 রোজ সোমবার থেকে 18 জানুয়ারি 2026 রোজ রবিবার পর্যন্ত। প্রার্থিতা প্রত্যাহারের শেষ তারিখ 20 জানুয়ারি 2026 রোজ মঙ্গলবার। রিটার্নিং অফিসার কর্তৃক চূড়ান্ত প্রার্থী তালিকা প্রকাশ ও প্রতীক বরাদ্দ 21 জানুয়ারি 2026 তারিখ রোজ বুধবার। নির্বাচনী প্রচারণা চলবে 22 জানুয়ারি 2026 রোজ বৃহস্পতিবার হতে ভোট গ্রহণ শুরুর 48 ঘন্টা আগ পর্যন্ত তথা আগামী 10 ফেব্রুয়ারি 2026 রোজ মঙ্গলবার সকাল 7:30 পর্যন্ত। ভোট গ্রহণ হবে 2026 সালের ফেব্রুয়ারি মাসের 12 তারিখ রোজ বৃহস্পতিবার। নির্বাচন প্রক্রিয়ায় সকল রাজনৈতিক দল ও প্রতিদ্বন্দ্বী প্রার্থী সহ ভোটারদের আন্তরিক অংশগ্রহণ ও সক্রিয় সহযোগিতা কামনা করছি। সকলের প্রতি আমার আহ্বান, আসন্ন ত্রয়োদশ জাতীয় সংসদ নির্বাচন ও গণভোট সফল করে আমাদের গণতান্ত্রিক অগ্রযাত্রায় ঐতিহাসিক ভূমিকা রাখুন।
The Advisory Council has given its final approval to the draft of the Commercial Court Ordinance 2025. The approval came during a regular meeting of the Council with Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus in the chair. The meeting was attended by the members of the Advisory Council and relevant secretaries. Following the meeting, the Chief Advisor hosted a luncheon in honor of the two departing advisors, Mahfuz Alam and Asif Mahmood Shojib Bhuiyan, and participated in a photo session with them. Later, the Chief Advisor's press secretary briefed journalists at the Foreign Service Academy in the capital.
আইন সহায়তা প্রদান এটার দ্বিতীয় সংশোধন অধ্যাদেশ 2025-এর খসড়া অনুমোদন হয়েছে। তিনটি লই খুবই ইম্পর্টেন্ট, বিশেষ করে বাণিজ্যিক আদালতের যে লটা এটা খুবই ইম্পর্টেন্ট বাংলাদেশে। এটা আমাদের এলডিসি গ্র্যাজুয়েশনের ক্ষেত্রে খুবই প্রয়োজন হবে যে এটার ফলে আমরা নতুন নতুন সরকার প্রয়োজন মনে করলে বাণিজ্যিক আদালত গঠন করতে ডিস্ট্রিক্ট পর্যায়ে গঠন করতে পারে।
A Gazette notification issued by the Cabinet Division today said Chief Advisor Professor Dr. Muhammad Yunus has redistributed the portfolios of 4 advisors. Chief Advisor will now oversee the Cabinet Division, the Ministry of Defense, the Armed Forces Division, the Ministry of Public Administration, and the Ministry of Posts, Telecommunication and Information Technology. Dr. Asif Nazrul has been made Advisor for the Law, Justice and Parliamentary Affairs Ministry, the Expatriates Welfare and Overseas Employment Ministry, and the Ministry of Youth and Sports. Advisor Adilur Rahman Khan got the portfolio of the Ministry of Industries, the Ministry of Housing and Public Works, and the Ministry of Local Government, Rural Development and Cooperatives. Sayyida Rizwana Hassan will now oversee the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, the Ministry of Water Resources, and the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. The second day of testimony has been completed against Mahbubul Alam Hanif and 3 others in a case of crimes against humanity for the killing of 6 people in Kushtia during the July uprising. The testimony began today at 12 p.m. at the International Crimes Tribunal 2, led by Judge Nazrul Islam Chaudhry. The tribunal conducted the testimony today through a camera trial, marking the second day of proceedings in this case. Previously, the first day of testimony took place on December 8. The formal trial proceedings for the case began on November 25 with the prosecution's opening statement. Meanwhile, in 2 other cases of crimes against humanity during the July uprising, 3 individuals, including Daksu Vice President Sadiq Qaim, gave statements to the investigation officer today. The other 2 are Daksu Secretary for Literature and Culture Musaddiq Ali ibn Muhammad and Secretary for Transport Asif Mahmood. They gave their statements in 2 separate cases against Obadul Qadir and former Dhaka University VC Maqsood Kamal. They submitted their statements to the investigation officer at the International Crimes Tribunal, describing how during the July uprising, the Dhaka University administration, Chhatra League, External Jubo League members and Awam League affiliated militants attacked and tortured ordinary students from July 14 to 17, resulting in bloodshed. Sadiq Qaim stated that they provided testimony regarding this incident. Meanwhile, the tribunal has directed that the investigation report in the enforced disappearance case against Sheikh Hasina and 12 others must be submitted by January 18. The Appellate Division has adjourned the hearing on the High Court's verdict regarding the 15th Amendment until March 5 next year. The hearing in the Appellate Division on the High Court's verdict took place this morning. Attorney General Muhammad Asaduzzaman, the Chief Legal Advisor to the government, presented the arguments on behalf of the state. During the hearing, he told the Appellate Division that certain aspects of the 15th Amendment are necessary, while some matters could be left for the next parliament. Chief Justice Dr. Saeed Rifat Ahmed asked the Attorney General for his opinion on leaving parts of the 15th Amendment for the next Parliament without completing the hearing. In response, the Attorney General stated that he expected a verdict from the Appellate Division after the hearing was concluded. The Chief Justice remarked that the current Appellate Division does not want to deliver a judgment like the previous division, which could raise questions later. Later, the Attorney General indicated that they would complete the hearing today. The Chief Justice and other judges of the Appellate Division expressed that the 15th Amendment is a sensitive issue and taking sufficient time for the hearing would allow the court to deliver a landmark verdict that would not be questioned in the future. The medical board is working to ensure Begum Khaleda Zia receives the best possible treatment in the country. She is now able to receive the treatments prescribed by her doctors. Khaleda Zia's personal physician, Dr. A.Z.M. Zahid Hussain, said this during a briefing last night at Evercare Hospital regarding the BNP chairperson's latest health condition. Zahid Hussain said that although Khaleda Zia is not being taken abroad for treatment at this moment due to her current physical condition, she may be taken abroad if need in the future. He added that doctors are continuing their efforts to improve her health. Dr. Zahid Hussain mentioned that the medical board includes specialists from different countries, as well as her daughter-in-law, Dr. Zubaida Rahman. He also urged everyone not to spread rumors on social media driven by excessive emotion. Begum Khaleda Zia has been undergoing treatment at Evercare Hospital since November 13 for multiple health complications. BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir has claimed that the party deserves full credit for all positive achievements in the country. He said BNP must win the trust and support of the people to win in the upcoming general election. Fakhrul made the remarks today while inaugurating a national workshop titled BNP's Plan for Nation Building at the Krishibid Institution Auditorium in the capital. BNP Senior Joint Secretary General Advocate Ruhul Kabir Rizvi presided over the function, while Joint Secretary General Habibun Nabi Khan Sohel and other central leaders also spoke. The BNP Secretary General said that Tariq Rahman will return to the country very soon, and once he reaches, all conspiracies against BNP will be thrown into the dustbin of history. Later, prayers were offered seeking the speedy recovery and good health of BNP chairperson Begum Khaleda Zia, who is currently undergoing treatment at Evercare Hospital. Information and Broadcasting Secretary Mahbooba Farzana has urged officials to remain vigilant against misinformation and rumors ahead of the upcoming parliamentary election and to adopt people-oriented and innovative promotional strategies at the district level to encourage spontaneous voter participation. She made the call today at a discussion and views exchange meeting on election-related publicity activities held at the PID conference room in the Secretariat with public relations officers from various ministries and officials from regional information offices. Chief Information Officer Muhammad Nizamul Kabir was also present, describing the upcoming election as a unique and unprecedented compared to previous national polls. The Information Secretary said district information officers will play an important role in making public opinion. She also instructed information officers to coordinate closely with media professionals and step up monitoring efforts to prevent the spread of misleading or confusing information ahead of the election. The 38th Annual Commanders Conference of the East Bengal Regiment of the Army was held. Chief of Army Staff General Waqaruzzaman was the chief guest at the conference held at the East Bengal Regimental Center EBRC in Chattogram Cantonment today. The Army Chief recalled the glorious history of the East Bengal Regiment and prayed for the eternal peace of all the valiant martyrs who participated in the Great War of Independence. independence. He called upon all the members of the East Bengal Regiment to be ready to face the difficult challenges of the 21st century by acquiring capabilities through modern and up-to-date training with dedication, concentration, and professionalism. Besides, during the exchange of views with the officers of the regiment, the Army Chief shed light on various issues including technological development, research, professional skill enhancement, and future plans. The GOC of the Army Training and the Doctrine Command, the GOC of the 24th Infantry Division, the Chattogram Area Commander, the Commandant of EBRC, and other senior military and civilian officials were present at the event. Now, international news. The Palestinian Civil Defense has said families forcibly displaced in the besieged enclave by Israel's war are now trapped in flooded tents as storm barren lashes Gaza. Gaza's government media office said 1.5 million displaced Palestinians are living in harsh humanitarian conditions in Gaza camps and need better shelter. Director of Gaza's government media office said hundreds of thousands of families are living inside dilapidated tents damaged by the war of extermination and storms. The sector urgently needs 3 lakh new tents, while only 20,000 tents have entered. UN Special Reporter Francisca Albanese has said Palestinians have been left to starve amid the storm, which is likely to wreak havoc in Gaza until Friday as the unstoppable nightmare continues in the enclave. Renewed fighting between Thailand and Cambodia has entered its 4th day, with both sides accusing one another of violating international law. Cambodia's Ministry of Defense accused Thailand's military of carrying out numerous attacks within the country in the early hours of Thursday morning, including deploying tanks and artillery to strike targets in the country's Pursat, Bantai, Minchi, and Oder Menche provinces. Cambodia's Ministry of the Interior said homes, schools, roads, Buddhist pagodas, and ancient temples had been damaged by Thailand's intensified shelling and F-16 airstrikes targeting villages and civilian population centers up to 30 kilometers inside Cambodian territory. The ministry added that as of Wednesday, the death toll on the Cambodian side of the border stands at 10 civilians, including 1 infant, while 60 people have been injured. Responding to the accusations, the Thai army said Cambodia had intentionally used a historical site as a military base of operations and therefore was guilty of violating international law. Thai army said 8 Thai soldiers have also been killed in the fighting so far this week, with 80 more wounded. U.S. forces have seized an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela, President Donald Trump said, marking a sharp escalation in Washington's pressure campaign against Nicolas Maduro's government. Releasing a video of the seizure, Attorney General Pam Bondi described the vessel as a crude oil tanker used to transport sanctioned oil from Venezuela and Iran. Caracas swiftly denounced the action, calling it an act of international piracy. Earlier, President Maduro declared that Venezuela would never become an oil colony. The Trump administration accuses Venezuela of funneling narcotics into the U.S. and has intensified its efforts to isolate President Maduro in recent months. Venezuela, home to some of the world's largest proven oil reserves, has in turn accused Washington of seeking to steal its resources.